Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, guys. I actually wanted to sleep, and I'm kind of sick right now, but I had the feeling that I need to make this video right now. What I've been thinking about lately is maybe that sin that you've done is what took you to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Or maybe that occasion you have been through is the occasion that took you to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Maybe the thing that is holding you down is your hopelessness, the amount of regret that you're feeling because you do not know how to comprehend with this situation, and because you don't know where or when to start. If you weren't in control of what happened to you, then you are in control now. And if you weren't in control, then you still are in control. If something bad happened to you, it's the way you respond to that occasion. You have the control to respond the right way. For me to be standing here, being able to make these videos took me to go through some stuff and to do some sins, to realize what I've been doing wrong. I don't want you to think that I'm a person I have gone through so much. I think I'm just intelligent. No, I'm just kidding. Anyways, I was starting to go into the wrong direction. Then I was like, no, you are going to the wrong direction. And I was able to hold myself back, alhamdulillah. The prophets, they have gone through trauma and they haven't victimized themselves. They went through so much, and because of that, they were prophets. Because of that, they got closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they were less connected to the earth, to the dunya. And because of that, they were also able to show rahmah. Our Prophet ﷺ forgave the people of Taif. I'm always mentioning this. But people threw rocks at him. They were bleeding, and it was just so crazy. Or Yusuf alayhi salam, how he forgave his brothers. A human that hasn't gone through a lot would not be able to be this emotional, intelligent. They also had this empathy because of their traumas. The prophets didn't look at their traumas as a negative thing, and they haven't questioned a single time why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does this to them. Like, for an example, Ibrahim alayhi salam, his father was like, his father wasn't even Muslim, and I'm asking to myself, how did he, on his own, through the signs? Of course, it is obvious, we humans are just stupid. And he was so intellectual that he was so sure that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has to be one. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, of course, he guided him. But he guided him for a reason, because he knew that he was emotionally intelligent. And after years, when he finally got a child, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's command was to slaughter him. And he was like, okay, I have to do this now. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commands me to do this. And he hasn't said why a single time. He hasn't said why a single time. Or Yusuf alayhi salam. Yusuf alayhi salam also never asked why. They were always mentioning Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Today's children are like, yeah, because of school I can't pray, I'll just pray at home later. So basically they gave up too easily. But the Al-Kahf, they were probably our age or a little bit older. Or I'm not sure if they're just Al-Kahf or the people of Al-Kahf. I'm just gonna say the people of Al-Kahf. Not just in their story, all of the prophets, you can see that they are being literally pushed what we would think a dead end is. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala always shows them miracles. Like Musa alayhi salam, he literally parted the sea. They were in front of the sea, they were like, okay, what now? And then suddenly he just parts the sea, in two. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes it so easy. Musa alayhi salam, he didn't stress. He was like, I believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I believe that He's going to save me. And He did. And with every single prophet, He did save him. Ibrahim alayhi salam was saved from the fire. He was literally thrown into the fire, but he was saved from the fire. And the people of Al-Kahf, Allah put them into the cave. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also saved the people of Kahf. It took Musa alayhi salam to kill, to change. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decided to make a prophet out of him because He knew the potential he had inside himself. It just took him that action to be a better version of himself. Because how can we be a better version if we are already the best version of ourselves? So that is also a thing that I'm always talking about. Don't say that you want to be the best version of yourself. You can pray for that before you die, that you will be the best version that you'll ever be able to reach. You can pray for that, but don't have the mindset that you want to be the best version of yourself tomorrow. Just think you want to be you want to be a better version of yourself. Each time we cross our limits get higher, they change. So that's being the best version of yourself is also very subjective. It's very different, and it depends on how high your willpower is. All of this doesn't mean that you can sin though. All of this doesn't mean that you can hurt yourself or that you'll ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to traumatize you or to challenge you. But you can ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for sabr and for guidance. Because, these emotional scars that we have, also scars on our bodies, also scars within our hearts that no one sees. These all are a sign that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala heals us. Like, what are scars made of? They were wounds. They were open wounds. I cured these wounds, so they turned into scars. And every time we look at these scars, we should be saying Alhamdulillah that I've been gone through this. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows the best. And guys, don't let shaitan hold you back because you have too much guilt. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.